Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Round 11 in the bag. Pretty average. 1,213 with obviously the captain on Hines, which most people did. A lot of my players that have been scoring well for me lately kind of let me down a little bit this week. So we'll go over it from top to bottom. I'm still in the top 10%. I am hoping that my buy planning over the next 4 to 6 weeks will pave a way for me to see a lot more green arrows over the next couple of months, but time shall tell. So let's get into it. A lot of interesting things happened over the whole round. So obviously a few of my pods, well, one of my pods didn't play. So Lemuelo didn't play, which has been going really well for me lately. The horse played. Now he had a bit of a brain snap and brought back the biff. So he got 10 in the bin, which was not shocking. He does have that brain snap in him as a player, but he still scored 50. So obviously if you look at it and say, righto, well, he gets taken, well, 10 points gets taken off him for the sin bin, the 10 minutes that he was on the field, he more than likely would have probably scored upwards of the high 60s in that game. So I'm not concerned. I don't think he plays Origin. He's definitely going to be a staple in my side going forward. But that was one of the letdowns of the round. Obviously, Hosking was a letdown, 28 with the HIAA. He did pass it, but they didn't end up bringing him back on for whatever reason. I bought Peachy in. He obviously played really well and scored a 77. I just didn't have the balls to play him. I expected a lot better from the Roosters, but the Roosters are absolutely trash. Keep going down. Obviously Brown, Dillbags let me down with a 53. It was a very, what a weird game. I'll go over every single game from top to bottom, but I'm just going to go over quickly my letdowns of the week first. Dillbags 53. Gutho 57. AJ, I bought AJ in this week, hoping that he would continue his amazing try scoring record at Accor Stadium, and he didn't. So he finished on a 40 with no decent attacking stats. So look, I'm not too worried. AJ will get his piece of the pie. So so Gutho let me down, AJ let me down, Dillbags let me down, Hosking let me down, Horse let me down. I mean, it was one of those rounds. It really was one of those rounds, but let's go over everybody anyway. So obviously Grant finished on his 79. Pretty happy with that. Now, obviously Grant, like I was saying in my previous post, I am going to be looking at moving Grant on after this week. So I will be looking at bringing in a player who plays the bye rounds. So if we were to look at Grant right now, obviously 784k I can spend. My two main hookers that I'll be looking at for the bye rounds are obviously going to be Jeremy Marshall-King or a Reece Robson. I think obviously with Jeremy Marshall-King being more expensive than Reece Robson, I need to try and weigh up who is going to score more points out of those next couple of months. Let's just say 6 to 8 weeks. Because essentially I wouldn't mind bringing Grant back in for the run home. It's just a matter of whether or not I'll have the trades available at that point of the season, because things could go messy through the Origin period with injuries and suspensions and stuff. So we want to try and not waste too many trades at this point in the season. You could get away with it in the start of the season by burning a few here and there, but now's the time where you really need to start looking at not making any stupid trades. So, Reece Robson or Jeremy Marshall-King would be my two going forward for the bye rounds. I don't see any other major standouts for me in the hooker position. Marnie, do you know what? I can't disagree with people who have Marnie, because Marnie will do a job. Like, he's got a decent average. He's 63 average over a 3 round, 52.5 over 5. You can plug him in and he will get you a job if the rest of your team's looking fine. So I don't mind a Marnie as well. Moving on. For Noah Blake, he just keeps scoring tries for fun. I said it last week. I was like, you know what? It'll probably come to an end. I doubt that he'll score a try this week. What do you know? He scores a try again. So I don't even need Payne Haas at this point. I really don't. I'd like to have both. Wouldn't that be great? For Noah Blake and Haas, but every year, same thing happens. Haas goes into Origin. He loses minutes. People trade him out left, right and centre, and they bring him back in. So in that sense, I'm glad that I don't have him, because you'd waste 2 trades getting him in and out of your side. So, it is what it is. Tarpany with a 70. Oh, do you know what? With Tarpany, it's interesting, because I think that if the horse didn't go off for 10, Tarpany was going to score possibly below 60 for that game. There's really not much upside with Tarpany anymore. Like, yeah, he'll get you a job, no worries, but he's definitely not the same person that he's not the same player he was last season. That's a fact. So, anyway, moving on. Maddo, 62. Sean Lane gone for, I'd say, a few weeks. Hammies are pretty annoying. That's obviously really, really good for Hopgood owners, because Hopgood would now start a lot of games and get plenty of minutes. So if you held on to Hopgood, well done. If you got him back in recently, well done. The stars have aligned for you. I myself probably won't look at bringing him in, only because I've got other fires to put out in my side. So well done to those people who owned Hopgood. But yeah, Maddo 62. I don't know. There's really not much to say about Maddo. I just wish he played that 70-minute role. I really did, because he is an absolute beast, Supercoach wise, and as a player when it comes to playing 70 minutes. But anyway, Preston with a 50. Not very underwhelming, but underwhelming. Only because he's been scoring tries lately, and obviously didn't score a try this week. So 50 it is. Hines updated very, very nicely to a 98. Captained him, which obviously ended up working out well, because outside of Fafita, he was the most high-scoring captain of the round compared to other people who were captaining in pods like Latrell. But yeah. Dillbags with a 53. Now, I was tempted to put the VC on Dill, because I actually thought that he would get a lot more involved against that Raiders side, but the Raiders are looking good. I've definitely got them locked into my top 8 this season. If you have a look at the Raiders draw between rounds 14 all the way to the end, they have a very, very good draw. If Ricky can somehow stabilise himself, I think they are a very, very good chance of possibly finishing in the top 6. Top 6. It's a maybe for the top 6, but top 8, definitely. So, they just... I think if Moses played that game, though, I think the Eels might have won, but the Raiders are definitely looking good. I think that's 5 on the trot for them. So, yeah, very good with that. I was tossing between AJ and Timoko for ages, and I went with AJ. I really did. I still think that AJ over the next... I still think AJ will slightly outscore Timoko, but I'm not confident in that. I think Timoko can definitely... I think he can definitely outscore AJ. It's going to be close. It'll be close. But anyway, moving on. Joey Manu, obviously with his 33, got injured. I believe he will be out for the next God knows how long. It could only be a couple of weeks, but we'll wait and see what the teams list says tomorrow. He is going to be a part of my trade plans this week. I'm making 2 very basic, straightforward trades this week. I'm not playing around with it. No boost needed this week. It's 2 in and out. Holmes with a 92, Garrick with a 90, blah, blah, blah. Katoa finally bangs out a great score, 88. I actually really needed that going into the last game of the round. Thank God. So Katoa's going to start to make a little bit of money. This could actually start a little bit of a run for him. Fingers crossed he can continue going. So glad I held on to Warbrick. He banged out a 78, so he will also start to make some money. Gutho with an underwhelming 57 and Buller with a 45. So Buller's made 148k so far. Has a very good low break even again this week, so he will go up. Yeah. So overall, I mean, let's have a look at the top scorers for the round. You've obviously got Sorensen, who appeared out of nowhere and scored 175 and will probably never do that again. Wow, 175. I think a lot of people are going to get caught bringing this bloke in for a cash grab. Sure, no worries. If you've got the trades to do it, by all means, rip in and trade him in and out of your side. But I'd be getting used to him scoring 40s after this round. I could be very, very wrong, sure. But 175 is very, very surprising. And I dare say that won't happen again. So Luai, 155. He really laid into the critics about him being a replacement in the New South Wales side. I have a feeling that Freddie is going to stick with the devil that he knows, and I have a feeling that Hines is going to be an 18th man. I just don't know if Fittler is going to want to go away from Cleary and Luai. If you have 2 dominating halves like Hines and Cleary in the same side, I think it could be detrimental. But I'm not Fittler, so who knows. I personally, I think Nico does deserve an Origin jersey. I just don't know how it works. But, yeah. Tane Milne, 131. So, Helium Lukey, he's actually an option for people wanting to trade out Hosking this week. I think he will make you a lot of cash. I think he is great buy coverage. He'll get you plenty of minutes. He showed in the past that he can be a great Supercoach scorer. So I don't mind that trade if people are doing Hosking to Lukey. Just be wary that Leilua is coming back soon. And I think with Leilua coming back, it might change things in that Cowboys side. Ponga 114 really put his case forward for Origin. So my whole season, I've always thought to myself, Walsh is going to make Origin. Walsh is going to make Origin. I still think that he potentially could but I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I think Ponga could still do a job, but it is so risky as a Queensland. Like, imagine if you're a Queensland selector and you're looking at Ponga and you're thinking, wow, game one, we've got our side set. He comes out first 10 minutes and cops a HIA. Then all of a sudden they're in tatters. What do? Do you take the risk on Ponga? Does Newcastle take the risk on letting Ponga play Origin? That's another one. I don't know. It's going to be one of those things. It won't shock me if Ponga gets selected, but if I was Queensland, I would definitely select Walsh over Ponga at this moment in time. Fifita, I am so tired of death riding Fifita without owning him. Trading him out back when Titans had their bye in round 3, I think it was, round 3 or 4, was my worst decision to date. I hate that I had that brain snap and traded him out, but hindsight is king. Do you know what? I'm actually going to get him back in. I'm getting him back in this week. I'm not death riding him any longer. He's going back into my side. So, let's have a quick chat about my 2 trades that I'm going to be doing. So, Manu, I'm going to get rid of Manu. In comes Billy Smith. I think the Roosters are looking very, very thin at the moment. Billy looks good, pending his injuries. He's got a few knee knocks in the past, but if he can stay healthy, he can definitely do a job. He's got the Dragons this week, so I may even play Billy Smith in my side, which gives me that 437k, and I am going to go. It's either going to be I'm going to go Hosking up to Fifita. And then that way, I've got 86k in the bank. I don't need to use a boost. And I don't have to worry about not owning Fifita anymore. So he comes into my side, and during the games that he gets rested through Origin, I've got cover in my side with obviously the Horse, Preston, Tarpany, Lemuelu, players like that I can bring in. I've now got Fifita and Maddo in my side, in my second row. I just don't want to not own Fifita anymore. So, because I can tell you right now, if I had Fifita in my side over the last 4 or 5 weeks, my ranking would be significantly higher than what it is right now. So, Fifita is back in my side right now. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Beautiful. If I was to use my boost this week, I would definitely move Pele out and bring in Harrison Edwards. Finally, I can move Pele on. He's doing absolutely nothing in my side. I can finally move him on and get a player in that's going to make me some money and score well. He scored a 94. The bloke is a machine. I watched him play and I'm thinking, where has he been this whole season? Like, he is a gun. Well, I use the term gun lightly there, but he is definitely a player that can be played in your side as a third front rower if you need to play as a last reserve, without a doubt. So that is how I could look. Obviously, I'm not going to use that boost this week, but do you know what, actually? I could use the boost and get Edwards in, but I would rather save that boost for round 13 so I can get 4 extra players in for that buy round. So those are my two trades anyway, without even talking about Edwards. Those are my two trades. So you've got Manu down to Billy Smith and Hosking up to Fafita. Other than that, my side is okay. I wish I had Latrell. I don't have Latrell, but I will get Latrell. I will simply go Gutho to Latrell after Origin, and by doing that, it'll be fairly easy to do. All I'll have to do is just nuff Peachy down to a 200k bottom dollar player and go Gutho up to Latrell. So not owning Latrell has been a pain in the ass, but having plans to get Latrell in will pay off in the long run. So other than that, guys, pretty happy with how things are going, how my side's looking. It's alright. It's not too bad. I've definitely seen some car crashes out there in regards to people's sides, so things are looking alright. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Let me know how you went in the comments. Let me know your trades for the week. If you enjoyed watching the content, leave a like. You know the drill. Other than that, good luck for this week, and let's have a look at Teams List Tuesday tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your week. See yous.